Hey guys, today I'll be going over servicing brakes. I'll be going over rotors and brake pads and what's necessary to service them and keep them safe on the road. Alright, this job is going to be on a 03 Hyundai Elantra. And the first thing you'll do is take off all lug nuts and remove the wheel. And the lug nuts are 21 millimeters. Then the second thing you'll do is take loose the caliper bolts, which are 14 millimeters. I'm just going to loosen them up and then zip them off. That one's loose. Now I can remove the brake caliper and inspect the brake pads. Just gonna set that up there somewhere safe where it won't fall. Now these brake pads are actually, they look pretty okay to me. Yeah, those brake pads are in good condition and do not need to be changed. Next thing we're going to take a look at is the disc rotor right here, and to get that out of the way we're going to have to remove this brake caliper mount by removing the two 17 millimeter bolts here in the back. Just going to break them loose. And then, zip them off with my air edge. Alright, now these ones you can actually measure while they're still sitting on the hub assembly, but I'm just going to go ahead and take it off to make it easier to show. I'm also going to check out the back side of this rotor. Alright, last step for removing these rotors here is going to be remove these handy little screws. There we go. And this rotor is smooth as a baby's behind on both sides, which means the rotor is perfectly fine to go back on. No service needed, but we will check the minimum thickness. Alright, the minimum thickness spec for this rotor is 22.4 millimeters. If it's below that, then it's considered unsafe to drive with because they can crack and fail. And the thickness of this rotor is 23.72 millimeters. So there's still about 1.3 millimeters left to be taken off by the pads through wear. So this rotor is fine, and these pads are fine. So this could go all back together. Alright, now over here on the other side, when I took apart this side, I noticed that this rotor has some pretty good sized grooves in the rotor. So this one could be serviced, and I'm going to do that by taking it to a parts store to have it resurfaced, since I don't have a rotor turning thingy. I know how to do it, but I don't have my own shop, so. Since this side is okay, I'm going to go ahead and put it back together. You're going to make sure you line up your screw holes with the wheel hub. Right here, right there. put him back in. Make sure it's good and tight. As you can see right now, I'm pushing hard. I just snugged it down. Now these do need to be pretty tight, just not over tight. You see right there, I just gave it that little bit of an extra push, more than just a snug tight fit. So there's my snug tight, and then there's my really tight. Now I'll load my pads back in there. And place the caliper back on. And if you put new pads in, you're gonna have to compress this piston back in. And one way to do that is to stick your old pads back in there and take a screwdriver and push, or you can also take one of your old pads and a C-clamp and stick your old pad in there and then the C-clamp on either side, and then twist the C-clamp down and so this goes flush down right there flat with that side of the piston. But this should be fine since we didn't do anything, just putting the old ones back in. Now you're going to take those caliper bolts and put them back in. Make sure you have them lined up right. Now screw right back in there. And then once you get your caliper bolts in there, make sure you don't tighten them down as tight as you did the bracket bolts, because they do strip a lot easier. So just make sure you give it a good snug like that. Any tighter than that could be a bad thing. So just make sure you get it till it stops, and then just maybe like a quarter turn. Once you're all done with that, just put the wheel back on with the lug nuts on, and the torque spec is probably something like 85 foot-pounds. And that's all for today. Thanks.